I'm going to start with the angle tool and then I'm going to...
Hello! Today I'm showing you how I trim using my new wheel. As you know, I like to do story time at the start. That's a good boy. Alrighty. I think I did ceramics for the first time in high school. And then I didn't really do any until when I was in art school. Someone else was making like hand building mugs and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So they let me use some of their clay and then I ended up buying a bag myself and I did some cool stuff. Actually, I'll show you. This teapot was one of the first things I made when I was at art school with clay. At that point in time, I was doing a Bachelor of Fine Art, printmaking and drawing. It's a bit sharp at the bottom there. I mainly did lithography, very process driven, same kind of thing. Yeah, this is it. I still have it. I actually have a lot of my original pieces because I never wanted to throw them out. Then I did do ceramics for a really long time after that. So I did that in art school. I used like the firing studio at uni. And then I finished that degree, went on to study teaching. And then I became a teacher. And then when I got Archie, actually, fun fact, the day that I picked Archie up was the day that I had my first wheel throwing class. I remember picking him up and he was the tiniest little puppy. And then I had to leave him at home and then go to my wheel throwing. It just worked out. It was a terrible, terrible overlap with time. So that was my first wheel throwing course. So I've been doing ceramics again since I stopped and Archie's 5 now. So for 5 years, which is insane. Goes so fast. That's how I got into wheel throwing. Let's get started on this trimming video and I will see you at the end. Hi. So I'm doing some trimming on my new wheel. And I thought I would trim a few pots with you. I'm going to just do some trimming and talk you through the process of trimming and tap centering and all of that stuff. So let's get going. At the moment, I've already done this one. This is going to be a mug. Really excited for that. And then I have made some handles already as well. We're going to start off by centering the pot on the wheel. So we've got to have it upside down. I'm going to show you how to do tap centering. It's something that you need to practice. You need to consistently practice it until you get it. It's not going to be easy, but the more frequently that you actually practice, the more you can tell if it's in center or not in center. And then the more your hand-eye coordination with tapping and knowing get connected. You know, you can see that it's off center and you tap it in the right spot at the right time and it will shift to the center a little bit more. So it just takes a lot of practice. Keep at it. That's all I can say. I practiced and I was hating it and then all of a sudden I got it and now it's easy. So you can see now it's off centered. I put my wrist, lean it on my wheel and then I hold my finger like near the pot. Then I just tap. And I'm looking at the distance between here and here. That's off center. It's okay if that happens. That's pretty good. That's better. And the reason I'm not looking at this part is because this is like, I cut it off the wheel, you know, it's a bit, I'm really looking at the distance here because I know I can smooth that out a little bit. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to get it on there, get it roughly as close as you can, and it will all be fine. We're just trimming a foot. It's going to come off alive. And then I get my little coil sausages of clay, like this guy, give it a roll. And when I push it in, it's really important because we don't want to get it out of center. I'm actually pushing down. I'm not pushing into the pot. And it's just hugging next to it. And I'm securing the top. So I'm going to start my first pass with just shaving the top off. I'm going to get my speed up nice and high. First pass is just flattening it out. Okay? You can see there's a little wiggle in it, that's all right. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna figure out where I want my foot ring to be. General rule of thumb is that you actually want where the inside of the cup lifts up, that's where your foot should go. So I'm gonna say that it should go, and this, you know, you can put it wherever you want. I'm gonna put mine here, so that outside, that's the ring I'm gonna put to the outside. So I'm gonna get my speed up, draw myself a mark, and then the inside, I'm gonna do about there. Okay, so I've drawn my mark for where my foot's gonna go. I'm gonna do the inside first, get my speed up, first layer, second layer, third layer, and then I'm gonna, you can hear there's a fair bit of clay in there, you won't be able to hear it, but so I can go a bit deeper. And then I'm going to get my tool vertical so I can sharpen that foot up. And to be honest, you can do whatever profile you want. If you want it to be more curved, or if you even bigger foot ring, you can have a big one. And then I'm gonna get my speed up again, I'm gonna do the outside. So I'm gonna go vertically down to set the height of my foot ring. Just gonna get that up a little bit. You are better off doing a wider foot ring to start off with, to be honest, and then you can bring it in if you want to. So that's my foot in the middle. Now I'm gonna cut off the sides. So I'm gonna start with the angle tool, and then I'm gonna go in with the curve tool. So I'm curving the edge off. So it's my first little bit. And then it's just going over and finessing any little bits you want to finesse. And the real beauty of wheel throwing, I think, is that, you know, you're really discovering the character of the pot as you throw it. I think I want to curve that, get that bit off there too. I will say speed is important here. Don't go too slow. Okay, pretty happy with that. It's looking pretty good. Carefully take our coily sausages off. Yep, we're going to use them again. Carefully take that one off. And then we have our little foot ring. So this one's probably a bit narrow. Ideally, it would start there. And so it should be out here. But, you know, we're going to break the rules and do whatever we want. The whole idea of ceramics is that you have fun and you make something. So if the foot is not where it's supposed to be, it's fine. You decide where it's supposed to be. Supposed to is no fun anyway. It's my favorite bit. So I'm getting rid of any waste, and this should make the pot lighter as well. Okay, so I've just got the corner there. The general rule of thumb, whenever you're using these trimming tools, if you want like a straight edge, you're going to use the straight tool. And if you want a curved edge, you're going to use the curve. That's really important. That goes with anything. Curves make curves, straight edges make straight edges. I'm going to go over and I'm just getting rid of that corner. And I'm really going nice and slow and I'm blending it around. So the key with the speed is going to be slow with your hands, but fast with the wheel, but not so fast that you're going to kick the pot off. If something's not working, you need to adjust the speed, whether it's the speed of your hands, the speed of the wheel, or the combination of the two together. Generally, I find faster with the wheel, slower with your hands.
And I generally don't touch the bottom part of my pot, really, to be honest. I just do the top. Because you should have done that when you threw it. Gonna get my sponge. I'm going to increase the speed. And I mean, you can go over this with a rib tool as well if you want, or like a chamois. Doing all the basic things, just a sponge and a trimming tool is generally all I use. And it's always a good idea, just once because you've gone over it with water and water impacts the integrity of our clay, it's always a good idea to give it a quick burnish with your fingers and a compress, because that's when our S cracks can happen if you leave a surface wet. And take my glue. That's my pot. So I'm gonna let this dry for a bit. Any like little lumps and bumps can come out when we wipe it down, so you don't stress too much about that. And then I'm gonna put a handle on it.
If you want to see the finished mug with the handle on, you'll have to watch the next video. I will put the card up above somewhere, and also in the description once I've uploaded that one. That's coming up next. And I really hope you enjoyed this throwing video. Even if you don't have a wheel and you're never going to use a wheel, I hope it was satisfying watching all of those ribbons come off with the trimming. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!